Hi, this is Holly. I'm here with the Arlington Mansfield Area YMCA, and I am so excited that I get to introduce you to someone today, to one of my favorite people. This is Lisa Collins. And Lisa and I know each other through a variety of places. One is through our boys. We each have 20-year-old sons, and we met when they were younger. And then we know each other through church, and then also through neighborhood friends, and then also through the YMCA. So, Lisa, you've been with the Arlington Y longer than I have been. So, will you share with our group how long you've been at the Arlington Y and in what capacity?
Hi, Holly. Thanks so much for having me. I love when our paths cross. I've been with the Y since, goodness, I want to say 2003, right after they opened. Actually was part of the opening, was privileged to be with the instructors to teach the first class the first day the Y opened. So
That is so
it's been a
cool.
journey.
I
It's
love
been a
that.
journey. It's been cool. It has. I
Awesome.
enjoy.
Well, so you helped teach our very first class that was at the Cooper Street location, and what else have you done, in the with our Y?
I've been really privileged to be an instructor as well as personal trainer. I've worked with the seniors with Silver Sneakers. I helped launch the first stretch class, if you will, stretch yoga. Real excited about that. It is going strong to this day. Believe it or not, that recycling bin in the back parking lot, I helped put there because we were trashing a lot of paper and it killed me. I'm like, no. So I helped organize, get that there as well. I was
That's awesome.
coordinator of the Silver Sneakers program. Really got to know seniors through that avenue and enjoyed being around them. That's what helped launch my forte as a special populations certified trainer. I work with the functionality of keeping seniors moving and keeping them just thriving. So I've been blessed in many areas in the Y.
So in the past, I've just always known that the seniors hold a real special place in your heart. What was it that, just captured you about them?
Probably their gratitude. They were always so grateful for the class that you taught and the time that you spent with them. And they were so sincere about that. And they would come in a little timid, not sure what they could do, and they always did more than they thought. And then they were so grateful for that. So it just really warmed my heart to them.
That's awesome. And I know you've taught diabetes prevention, you've taught Live Strong. You're well versed in, being active and being healthy. And then you've also worked with seniors outside of the YMCA, correct?
Oh, yeah. I've been blessed to be in the communities, the retirement communities. I was a lifestyle director of both assisted living and memory care. And
Okay.
so through that memory care avenue, I've been really fortunate to get to develop brain training classes to help keep the seniors cognitively active in their own home. And so it is a definite privilege to get to formulate those programs.
And that's actually why I invited you here today. I wanted to talk about our health and about, specifically brain health. And so you have such expertise in that. I would love to get just some thoughts from you on, what your perspective is on brain health and what we can do about it.
Oh, great question. The brain is the central nervous system of our body, right? And we have to keep it active. I learned firsthand being in the memory care units, how important that is. And so functionality of the brain, keeping movement, keeping that blood flow on a consistent basis feeds that brain consistently and helps to ward off the dreaded diseases that inhibit cognitive progression. And so definitely, and proper nutrition, staying hydrated is so important, not only for our visceral organs, but for our brain. As well as staying emotionally connected to people. Those emotions help with our memory and help keep us active. And then, of course, movement. That movement, keeping the blood flow, keeping our balance as much as we can is very imperative, very imperative. So it's a healthy approach. It's a 360 approach I like to take that definitely keeps our well-being. It's not just a one-stop shop. It's a whole approach towards moving, eating, drinking, sleeping well, our sleeping patterns, supporting a healthy cognitive behavior as well. And then how are we entertained? Are we using music? Are we socially connected with others? So it's just a very broad spectrum, but all very vital to our health, our brain health.
Okay. So I never really thought about, drinking water for my brain.
Yeah. Yep.
That makes sense, but I don't normally think in terms of, I need more water for my brain.
Yep. Yep.
So that's neat. And you spoke about a couple different things that caught my interest. Number one, you talked about movement. What are the types of things that you're recommending as far as when I think movement and brain health? Tell me what you want to bring there.
Excellent question. Anything that supports a consistent blood flow, where you are in your space and time and at your age range. As a special populations instructor, trainer, I would never ask an 86-year-old person to do exercises that a 20-year-old would do. So just being aware of your body, how it moves on a daily basis, and then encouraging and supporting that movement each day is vital. Even if it means sitting in a chair and marching in place, just where you increase that blood flow goes from your heart up to your brain, and it's just imperative that's that healthy blood flow that we need on a regular basis. It was explained to me years ago, if you think about a water hose, and it's been off season, you haven't used that water hose. And then when the season rolls around and you look at that water hose, and it's got cobwebs in it. Spiders have made their home in it. But if that water hose was used on a regular basis and that water flow came out of it regularly, there wouldn't be that opportunity for that webbing to take place. Well, the same is with our brain. If we can keep that blood flow consistently, that amyloid protein isn't as active or as easy to formulate to create those cognitive barriers for us. So and then keeping hydrated. Think about a raisin. It's a dehydrated grape. Same with our brain. Our brain needs that water. It needs that tissue, needs that healthy flow of water on a consistent basis.
That's so neat. That brings alive that phrase, work out the cobwebs kind of thing.
There you go. Exactly.
I'm going to walk off the cobwebs. It's real.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that. You talked about also, I heard you mention the word music. So brain health, music, share.
Oh, very interrelated. It's incredible. When I worked as a director in memory care, unfortunately, some residents, struggled with what day it was and even struggled with the year. But you played a song that they, endeared to years ago in their 20s, 30s. They could tell you every lyric to that song. So it's incredible how that music attaches to our rote memory and how it can stay alive and keep us vibrant. So I love that. We would be doing a serious disservice by discrediting the importance of music in our cognitive health. It's imperative.
Any sort of music that we're, focusing on, or is it just the music that we loved when we were, yesteryear?
Great question. Actually, they found that classical music is very therapeutic for the brain. And then people's personal preference, if they like that sock hop music or they liked country music, they'll have a special place in their rote memory for that as well. So it's a wide range of music that's beneficial to us.
Okay, that's wonderful. What are some other things that we can do to work on, just positive things that we can do for positive, happy thoughts type of thing? Happy thoughts
Great question, because we can control our thoughts, and by controlling our thoughts, it enhances the quality of our life. I like to refer to Dr. Amen. I've followed him for years and years, read numerous books from him.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I love psychology and the brain and why people do what they do and their thought pattern behind that. And what resonated with me years ago is he talked about how certain thought patterns carves grooves in our brain. And so if it's a negative thought pattern, it carves that groove. And so that explains why it's easy for someone to go to the glass is half full versus the glass is half empty. Whereas if we can identify that and retrain our brain, so attach a positive thought to that negative thought on a consistent basis, it helps to minimize that negative groove and help steer us towards a positive. He authored Ants, and so how that automatic negative thinking system is in play, and that there's things that we can do on a regular basis to formulate positive thoughts. Time travel, if you will. I was blessed to get to formulate a program for my seniors called Time Travel, and we would determine a certain place that we wanted to travel to, and there were residents that got to go to that place previously. So I would encourage them to bring souvenirs or pictures, and then we'd go back and visit and think about and try to place ourselves back at that place. And what we liked most about it was that the weather that day, the food we got to eat, the treasured memories we got to make there. And it was encouraging and incredible the memories that came to the residents that they could remember. Oh, I was wearing a blue dress, and oh, that was a pretty pink flower. And it was so incredible. I'm trying to actually incorporate that daily and think about, I'll thumb through a picture album and think, oh, that was so much fun. We got to go there and do, have the fun, and just keeping happy thoughts and keeping those memories alive of those positive moments. Very helpful for the brain as well. Keeping our brain active with puzzles, crossword puzzles, Sudoku, all that. Just engaging our brain on a daily basis, really important for our vitality of our brain.
That's fantastic. You just made me think of two different things. One, you were talking about memories and having remembering them and those happy thoughts. And that time travel is what you were talking about with memories. So basically what I'm gathering is that when you say time travel, we're not really talking about Doc with, Back to the Future.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yes.
although I did like that movie.
Yeah.
So, but what you're talking about is remembering those memories and that space and time, that places where we've been. And so with that, right now, a lot of us are home a lot more because of the social isolation. I mean, that's the whole reason that we're creating this video series, is for our seniors who are at home, honoring the safety precautions of trying to, minimize germs, basically, and viruses, right? So with that, it kind of makes me think about maybe this is a good time to look at pictures and talk through them and share them. Share them with family and share them with friends. So that's just, I really never thought about that being something that would make our brains healthier, is to do that, and that plays a role. The other thing that just, you made me think about with my Livestrong class, which, you're familiar with, you're a Livestrong instructor. So how we have that question of the day. One of the questions that I do is I'll bring in a stack of quarters, and I tell everybody we're going to play quarters. And so then what we do is you get a quarter and you identify, you look at the year of that quarter, and then you just think of a memory from that year. And so that has always been such an enriching experience. And so I'm thinking maybe our group that's on, watching this video series, maybe y'all can, get a quarter and call a friend and say, I remember something from this year. Do you remember something from this year? And what that would do for our brain health.
That's
So
cool.
neat. Now, you also talked a little bit about Dr. Amen.
Mhm.
So how did you connect with him?
I love psychology. I'm actually working on becoming a coach, a life coach. And so
Yes.
I listen to New Life because I love to get into the brain and what are people thinking when they're doing what they're doing. And so he's been highlighted numerous times on
Okay.
that show, as well as I've read books of him.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Very,
Yeah, and I'm
very encouraged
connected.
by him.
I was connected with him through a counselor,
Uh-huh.
and so now I'm connected via Facebook with him. So he's a
Yeah.
great resource for everybody to know about. Um, and then he made me think of something else, and I can't remember what it was. So, oh, I remember you said something about games. How
Uh-huh.
often, we are all kind of familiar with the idea of, you know, doing puzzles or Sudoku or, other things like that for our brain health. How often should we be doing that?
Excellent question. I would try to incorporate it on a daily basis. I mean, just using that brain helps to formulate that thought process that makes it easier each day we use it. So, and it keeps that
Mm,
brain vital and it helps us to recall those facts and memory a lot quicker. So,
awesome.
on a daily
Cool.
basis.
Cool. Well, I so appreciate you being here. I love talking with you. So, do you have any closing thoughts that you would want to share for our
Oh,
group?
thank you so much for asking, Holly. Just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And as much as you can in the capacity that you can. Um, and keep those happy thoughts alive. Enjoy those moments while we still can. So,
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you
really
again.
enjoyed it. Have a great one,
Awesome.
Holly. Thank you. Take
Y'all,
care.
take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.